You only get 2021 one time ever, okay? Wake up and do something special this year. If I can help, I'm here. We have 2,000 videos on YouTube for free. I put out stuff on Instagram every day for free. Like, I am committed to helping every insurance agent in the world. I want to be known and I want to leave a legacy on this industry. For that dude has helped me more than anyone else without having to try to recruit me than anyone else on the planet Earth, period, ever. Boom.
It's time! Work, play, evolve!
I want to connect the listeners to the best of the best. Cody Askins, welcome to the Evolved Broker Podcast.
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
Great to have you, my man. You run one of the most popular sales and marketing conferences in the entire industry. For our audience, can you tell us about the 8% Nation Conference and why it's so popular?
Yes. So the mission is, right? I believe everyone should have a mission. The mission is to help every insurance agent in the world. I really believe you can't do that without an unbelievable conference and event where you're bringing people together, right? There's something about being in the room with people. There's something special about the power of events. Events have changed my life the last 3 years, and I thought, I'm robbing the industry if I don't put something together that's massive, that's insane, that's epic, that people can come together and be a part of. So we have just continued to level it up every year. If people have loved it before, which they have, I can only imagine what they're going to think this year in July, because it's going to be a whole different crazy experience that we've never done before.
I'm super excited. I know in researching you and seeing some of the videos from previous conferences, you've had some of the highest quality speakers at your events, from Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, to Grant Cardone, who's one of the biggest business influencers. And I know Eric Thomas is going to be speaking at the upcoming conference in Dallas. And shout out to Michael Armstrong on my team, who's he and I are both big Eric Thomas fans. But I'd love to know, from all the events you've thrown, if there is a speaker that comes to mind that you think was the best speaker that you've had at a conference previously.
I would say the person with the most passion from stage was Ray Lewis back in 2018.
Oh, sweet.
Dude,
that's awesome.
I thought the dude was going to jump off of the stage and tackle someone. I mean, he was so intense. I loved it. He was amazing. Now we've got several other speakers this year, like Eric Thomas. Here for the podcast, here's a couple of names we haven't even released yet that we're signing right now.
Okay.
Patrick Bet-David, right? Huge name.
Huge.
Crazy. Tom Hegna, industry legend.
Okay.
I got one individual that's got 3 million followers on Clubhouse now, the new app. That's a female that actually does advertising campaigns for like Nike. Mm-hmm. She's going to be sick. We're going to, but yeah, dude, I would say Ray Lewis. Mm-hmm. He had a ton of passion, man.
That's super cool. I know you and I are both really passionate about sales training, and Jordan Belfort's straight line sales training method, I think, really hit home for me. Was there anything in his talk at the conference that you think was a massive takeaway for insurance agencies, or insurance salespeople to apply to their sales process?
Yeah, most people overcomplicate the sales piece, right? So something I've been talking a lot about, he talks a lot about, is most people want, here's a big takeaway. Most people want to think before they act, right? They know they should, like if I ask your audience right now, like, hey, who's the three biggest clients you have that have done something with you and that would potentially do something else with you? And I challenge them to go call them today. Who would actually take action and who would think about it? Most people think before they act. Winners, successful salespeople, and they don't think about the call before they make it. They just freaking make it.
Well, and there's no doubt that from your own track record, I mean, you had an unbelievable start off in the industry, which I want to get to. But as we talk about guests, and you had the Wolf of Wall Street on there. Another guy that you had was a guy named Grant Cardone, and ironically, the two of them had a podcast, and the conversation got a little bit heated. They have different approaches to sales, Is there any takeaway that you had that was like, you know what, I appreciate this approach for the following reasons, and this is different? Maybe it's a little bit more marketing based, but I would love to hear your thoughts on how they were different and what you found successful in either approach.
Yeah, I mean, there was that podcast was unbelievable. You're right. It's got over 1 million views. It popped off. It was crazy. I loved it. For those that haven't seen that, okay, it was Jordan Belfort interviewing Grant Cardone on his Wolf's Den podcast. Unbelievable. You got to check it out. There was a couple things. One, I respect that Jordan is all about let's fill the pipeline, let's move on, let's sell let's get to the next person. You're not going to sell them all, just hyperactivity, right? Follow up, move on, get to the next person. I respect the heck out of that. I love that. I also agree with the Grant Cardone piece, though. Most people would say that no interest means no interest, and that like through Jordan and the way Cardone said it, he was just trying to get some attention. He said it crazy, et cetera. However, there have been people in my past that have told me, I'm never going to do business with you. I'm never going to give you money. Mm-hmm. And now they're giving me $100,000 a year. So
right.
I do think that I respected Cardone's approach because it was so unique, and he's the promoter, right? I mean, he's just a natural promoter.
Totally.
But I respected that piece as well, because there's going to be people that your agents, run into at some point, and they're going to be like, you know what? I've got my financial advisor, but then they're going to see them do a seminar. It's going to catch their attention. They're going to come to it at 6 months later, and they're going to do business with them later, right? So I really believe that just because someone doesn't want fish today doesn't mean they may not want fish tomorrow, right? So
yeah, no, that's a great answer. Again, like you said, I would recommend if people haven't seen that and you're interested in sales training and sales approaches, 2 different philosophies, right?
Yeah.
But in regards to the 8% Nation conference, I'm curious almost from my sister's standpoint. My sister is a commercial lines producer at Hub International in the Bay Area, and she's actually doing really well this year. And I'm curious as to how someone like her would find out or would look to attend the 8% Nation. I don't know if she gets invited or if she has to produce a certain amount of business to fall in the 8%. How does that process work to get the best of the best in the room?
That's good. Yeah. So it is open to anyone that would like to attend, right? Even a brand new agent that hasn't even made a sell yet. I want to help them excel, right? 8% comes from the fact that 92% of insurance agents fell in their first 3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. 92% fell, which you probably gathered pretty quick. But we don't do any free tickets. I used to give away some tickets and all this kind of stuff, but people people only value what they pay for. I believe you have to pay attention. Okay. Mm-hmm. So
gotta have skin in the game.
That's it, right?
No
so
doubt.
To get VIP and above, they got to spend at least $500 to get in the room. And that helps the quality of the audience by having a higher price point. Because we've already got over 700 tickets sold for July, and it's March. Like, we got 4.5 months still. We will have awesome. easy 1,000, 1,200 in the room in 2021. But anyone can go. And your sister should absolutely attend.
And so is the conference held annually? Is it biannually?
Well, once a year. So we do two things a year. Okay. We do a bunch of events, but we do 2 things a year with 8%. One is a virtual conference that we just did a week and a half ago. And that's where we get 10,000 agents on a virtual conference. We use that to help agents for free and to get people hyped up and motivated to attend the real one, the live one. And they can attend in the 8% in July. They can attend in person, or they can just attend and pay for the live stream. Now, getting in the room is something special, but we do that big event once a year.
Okay, big again once a year. And will that virtual event continue once we're out of the pandemic?
It will, because it's been an absolute phenomenal lead gen and feeder for the main one.
Okay.
And to add to that, most people canceled events post-COVID last year. We did not.
Impressive.
We did it anyway. We had 400 people in Dallas, a smaller event, but we still did it. And yeah, we had to change up how we did it. But dude, I am not someone that says I'm going to do something and then cancel it. I don't believe in doing that. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Right. And so we did it, and it was unbelievable. And people actually walked away saying, dude, we leveled up the speaker lineup. We dropped $10,000 plus from the ceiling. We had a couple surprise speakers. Like, it was crazy, but they left saying, dude, this was a special deal this year.
So beyond really high quality speakers and obviously being around some of the top talent in the industry, what can a producer expect to get from attending the conference, let's just say in Dallas in July?
Yes. So I believe it's up to the learner to know what they're going to get before they attend. Okay. So when I go to events, I say to myself, I want to meet this person. I want to ask these questions. I want to get this ideas, and I want to listen to this person from stage and get this nugget. Right. So they're going to get hyped up and motivated. Sure. Right. That's going to last a few weeks, 30 days, whatever. Right. But they're also going to get, if they're looking and listening, they're going to have ideas enter their mind because they were at that event. There's also breakout sessions where they can actually go to live workshops with about 24 different speakers that are doing that in the industry, right? So, I mean, I just got back from 10X, Cardone's event. And I've got this whole note with all these notes and ideas, okay? And I've got it's full. It's like pages and pages and pages. You can't even see it, but it's just full of notes and ideas because when I go to an event, I am looking for that massive $100 million nugget. Like that's the way I approach it. And the variety of quality speakers we have, you're going to get some nuggets that guaranteed whatever you pay, you will make 10X what you pay within 30 days after the event, 100%.
I saw that you were at that 10X event from your Instagram, which your Instagram is at Cody Askins, right?
Yeah, at Cody.Askins, but yeah, close enough.
At Cody.Askins. No, I just want to make sure we clarify for the audience. What was your biggest takeaway from the 10X conference?
I would say there's a few big takeaways. The biggest one is that every speaker knew they were going to be successful before they were even successful. Like they had the dream, they had the vision, they had the mindset. Like they knew I'm going to do something special in the future. Like they knew it would happen. So for your audience listening, do you know it's going to happen? How much do you believe in yourself? How much are you dreaming? Like they're all write down their goals every day. I have a daily power 5 that I do. I write down my goals every day, right? Also, another big time takeaway is that businesses don't build people. People build businesses. So for those out there trying to build their own agency, we think we can track everyone to success. We think that we can make people great within our organization. It's actually better if you find great people to make the business great.
Can't create a quality business if you don't have the right people on the right seats. There's no doubt.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, I also thought it was so cool that Drew Brees was there so close to the announcement of his retirement.
That's right. Yeah. He didn't say that he was retiring during his talk, and they had some questions that were off limits. However, I felt it when he was speaking. I even asked myself, did he already retire? And then literally it comes out like a few hours after. So I knew you just felt it. So yeah, he was so good.
I'm glad you clarified because I was curious if he actually announced it at that conference because it was so soon. But that's so cool that he was there, with such a big moment, big announcement. So I want to talk about sales training and sales mentorship because Cody, you have tons of credibility in this arena just based on your track record of, there's a story about you producing over $100,000 in business in your first 8 months of your career.
Yes.
The first question I have for you is there what is the biggest mistake that you think most salespeople make?
Oh, I really believe that the biggest mistake most people make is I have this philosophy where I call it details delay, right? I really believe that most people don't put forth enough activity to succeed and win, right? Like for me, I committed to setting 15 appointments every single week, no matter what. Like I'm in this mode right now where I'm raising $1 million in the next 30 days. And I know it's insane. It sounds ridiculous. It's freaking nuts. However, I do that kind of stuff to pull me in that direction and to really get my attention and wake me up, right? So for most new agents, they're not doing enough to get the results they want. So yes, I did $117,361.13 in my first 8 months.
Love it.
But I did that, I did that by going out and doing whatever it took every single week. Most people just don't put in enough activity and effort in because you could be great. If you see 3 people a week, you're never going to make it.
I'd actually love to talk to you about the $1 million that you're raising. So can you tell the audience a little bit more about why you're doing it and how you're doing it and what the end goal is?
Yeah, so it's a little crazy, a little unique. Okay, now I've got several companies I'm a part of, and we did $1 million in total several company revenue in January of this year, right? So we already did that. However, I'm going to raise $1 million just in coaching, consulting, training, events, and tickets in 30 days. And the reason is I've never done more than like $200,000 in a month in tickets and coaching and consulting and training. However, when I was at 10X, I was Pete Vargas was talking about how Cardone did $10 million the last quarter of last year just in webinars and online events. Wow. And I'm like, dude, if he can do that, I should be doing $1 million a quarter online. I just should, right? So I try to find something, and then I'm like, well, what if I could do it in a month, 30 days? Like if I wanted to do it, could I do it? And I'm like, dude, I believe I can pull anything off. Right? Like that's part of the confidence piece. If you don't have confidence in yourself, in the strategy, you're not going to keep pushing and do it. Right? So I'm always thinking, okay, what's something that's freaking crazy insane? Like when I set targets, it needs to be so massive, so insane. It scares me to death. It puts me, it operates out of my comfort zone. And there's a fear associated with it. And then I go and I tell everyone. Okay. And I do that because I like short-term targets that pull me in a direction to accomplish a lot over a short amount of time. Okay. So I'm doing it just to prove to myself that I can, number one. Number two, I'm going to end up using the money for several different things. I'm going to go buy a beach house. I'm going to go buy a plane. I'm going to, we're starting Askins Acquisitions, a new company to go buy insurance agencies with passive investors to create cash flow. I'm going to use it to kickstart that company. I'm using it as a way because, dude, every time I fly commercial, I'm like, I'm stupid, man. But
got to figure it out.
And I'm like, dude, if I did it, would that help me figure out the details? Yes. So why don't I just do it, right? Why don't I just push? So the question for your audience is, if you had to do something massively insane that scared you to death and you had to tell everyone, and you had to pull it off the next 30 days, what would you do?
So has the clock started on the 30-day window? Yeah,
it started yesterday, and we've already raised over 70 grand.
Wow. That's super exciting.
Yeah. So I was literally, that's why I was late in here, because I was on a call pitching somebody 15 grand, you know?
No, it's totally fine. I respect the hustle. Yeah. Well, we'll have to check in after 30 days. I'd love to see what comes out of it. Who knows? Maybe you get more.
Dude, I just got a text. What's with the $1 million push? You know, that's the thing. You got to tell everyone, right? Like, yeah, I'm telling everyone I'm going to sell them. However, dude, if I've got the right intention, if what I'm selling can help them, and I believe I'm doing the right thing, then who cares, right? So yes, you'll definitely better follow along, because I'll be talking about it every single day, the whole time.
Okay, cool. I will be looking out for that. And
thanks, bro.
One of your videos that really caught my eye when I was looking into your background was a video on cold calling in the first 30 seconds of a cold call, which I recommend the audience goes to YouTube if you're looking to figure out how to structure the beginning of a cold call in a really, really effective way. In regards to cold calling in general, is there any secret sauce that you can give our audience via this podcast that they can then go and look at your YouTube videos?
Yeah, the first 5 seconds, the first 30 seconds are the most important pieces of a call, right? Because I used to, when I started out selling insurance, I used cold calling and cold door knocking, 0 leads, selling life insurance door to door, like that was it. But the goal and the target was so big, because what most people don't know is I went to a recruiting meeting, and the manager said, all of you stand up, and he said, take a look around. He said, now all of you sit down except for one person. And he left one person standing. He said, maybe one of you will make it. And I'm like, dude, if there's going to be a one, I'm going to be your audience their backs have been against the wall before. They felt like, dude, if there's going to be a one, I'm going to be the one, right? So for me, I wrote down in that moment, and I challenge everybody to do this. I said, I will earn $100,000 my first year in the insurance industry. And I dated it, and I signed it, and I hung it up on the wall of my cubicle. And then every day I went out to make that a reality. So yes, I made 117 grand in my first 8 months, but I did it through mastering the call, most people, when they make cold calls, they make several mistakes. Okay. Even when they call leads, the first mistake they make is, hello, is this Betty? Right? Or are you Betty? Am I speaking to Betty? Can I speak to Betty? Like you ask a question to open out the call. And like when SiriusXM calls me and says, hey, can I speak to Cody? Well, what do you think Pat and I are probably going to say? Dude, you got the wrong number, right? Like that's just it. Clients are going to do that too. Prospects can do that too. So when I call someone, hello, Betty. If it's really Betty, they're gonna be like, yeah,
Yes.
Who's this, right? Boom, I've taken that objection potentially away, right? Then most people, when they jump in, they wanna say their last name and their company name. Dude, it's a waste of breath. It's a waste of words. Nobody cares. They're never gonna remember my last name anyway, okay? Or in the company name, if I say, I'm with Cody Askins Insurance, they're gonna be like, oh, what do you call me about insurance for, right? I want to be in complete control of the call early, okay? So, hello, Betty. Yeah, this is Betty. This is Cody. I'm getting back to you about your request for this. Okay, so thank you for doing that. You listed your favorite hobby as fishing. I'm assuming that you remember doing that not too long ago, don't you? Like I am putting them in a position to say it, to answer it with a yes. So I don't speak unless I finish with a question. Here's what most people do when they make a call, by the way, and everybody does this. Hello, is this Betty? Yeah, hey Betty, this is Cody Askins with Cody Askins Insurance. How are you doing today? Yeah, I'm doing crappy. Why are you calling me? Right. Well, you responded online. Looks like you filled out something online saying you wanted a quote to talk about, some commercial insurance. And then we just pause. Like someone's just going to say, yeah, please sell it to me and sign me up. Please take my money. Right.
Right.
What happens is the pause is the flipping killer of the call. And they're going to give you an objection 100% of the time because it's a human nature. People give objections. When I walk into Best Buy, and they say, can I help you find anything? What do we say when we walk into a store and they're like, hey, can I help you?
I mean, I'm typically I feel like I'm just doing my thing. I have whatever plan I had in my mind going in. I generally don't need the help.
Exactly. I'm just shopping, right? I'm just looking. Thank. Like that's like the first defense mechanism. Like when I ask my wife, hey babe, where do you want to go for dinner? She's going to say, I don't know. You pick. I don't care, right? Like we say stuff. It's human nature to say stuff. People say they don't have money when they have money. People say they're unhealthy when it doesn't matter if their health is poor or not, right? Like people use objections early in a call. It's my job to take those away. And then if they give them, dude, it's my job to totally ignore them, agree with them, and just keep moving forward.
I really appreciate the detail that you put into that. And again, if people are curious about a little bit more context when it comes to sales calls, Cody does a great job of breaking it down in that video on YouTube. So Cody, you started in the life insurance world. Is there any advice you'd have to like a kid coming out of college that was looking to get in the insurance industry, that was looking to pick a specialty, whether it's a specific product line or a specific industry that they want to get into?
Yeah. I mean, naturally, you need to do something that you are not only building something, right? But you are doing something to where you are passionate about the product. You got a story to tell and you believe in what you're selling, right? So like, I'm not ever going to go door to door selling solar because I don't even have solar. Now, should I? I don't know. Nobody's told me I should yet, right? So the point is someone needs to really have a passion and believe. Like if to sell life insurance and not own it is ridiculous. That person's fake. They're just fake. Okay. So like, it's like me selling coaching, training, consulting, or telling people to give me 50 grand a year to work with me. Well, dude, if that's the case, but I don't go invest in personal development and coaches and mentors myself, then I'm a hypocrite, right? So I've spent about probably 400 grand now, the last 36 months, just in personal development and self-improvement, just in coaches, just in masterminds, just in retreats, just in events. Why? Because I've seen the power of what it can do for me. I am my most valuable asset. The better I get, the more money I make. For everything to change, I got to change.
Sounds like you're putting your money where your mouth is. Cody, you have one of the best online presences, you're one of the best digital presences of really anyone I've seen in the insurance industry. And that just me working in the MGA world and cyber insurance and working with retailers, Digital marketing seems to be a big question mark for a lot of agency owners, and for smaller agencies to larger agencies. It just seems to be something that a lot of people aren't focused on. Do you have any advice for an agency owner or a producer that's looking to build their digital presence?
Yes, the number one currency of 2021 is attention. Like if you don't have your people, you don't have your customers, prospects, your area, if you have a local retail office, whatever, right? If you don't have the attention of your market, nothing else matters. You think it's easier to sell someone if they've heard of you or if they haven't heard of you? Always when they've heard of you, right? So that's what we call, hey, I want to become a person of interest, right? Like I want people to know who I am. So for example, I'll give you a little behind the scenes. We're actually in the process of talking to our bank about going and withdrawing $117,361.13 from the bank. We're going to hire security. We're going to put it in a briefcase. Why? Because I'm going to then go and shoot a YouTube ad saying, hey, I made this amount of money at 20 and you can too if you keep watching our stuff, right? Like, why would I do that and make a big event out of it? Because dude, I need to get people's attention. Like you're saying, hey, you got a brand. You've been pushing, man. And you're right. I have, thank you. But it's nowhere near where it can be, right? Like that's what I love about entrepreneurs and the spirit of entrepreneurs is they're driven, man. They know they got another gear. I'm only doing the $1 Million Challenge for 30 days because I've got a whole bunch of freaking gears. I haven't even unlocked the gears yet. And I want to push myself to do that. So if you're in your area, like, dude, if someone's got like a local office in San Francisco, dude, I'd be doing a concert and bringing in I'd be bringing in whoever, freaking sings. I'd be bringing in, a big country artist, whatever, right? And I'd be throwing a concert in a venue and I would be advertising it like crazy. I'd talk, news stations would pick it up. And guess what I would get up and talk about on the mic before I brought out the person they came out to see? Me, what we do, right? And why? That's weird, by the way. It's not something people do. I would do it because I need everyone to know my name. So if I was going back and selling insurance just in Springfield, Missouri, which I'm not anymore, if that was the case, every single person, like for example, the mayor just toured our office this morning, our multiple buildings. Why? Because he keeps hearing about us and he's like, dude, I don't even know these people. So he called and wanted to come by. Like, that's cool, right? Well, if I was like, that's what people need to get so big that not just the mayor doesn't just come by, that they freaking own the city one day. Like, why not, right? Like we got to operate and think on such different levels. So if they're watching, like, okay, I want a brand, I want influence, I want to become a person of interest, I want my area to blow up and think about me. Like if they ask the question, when they think about cyber insurance in their area, whatever insurance they offer, who pops into your client's head first? And is it you? And if it's not, how do you fix that?
So doing something big above and beyond to gain a bunch of attention, that sounds like it's step one. Step two is likely distributing that content effectively over, a number of different platforms. Is there like a social media platform that you've focused on more than others, or one that you'd recommend to insurance folks trying to build that online presence?
Yeah, personally, it's been YouTube for me because I'm what I'm looking to accomplish across the world. I just spoke at a conference in the Philippines to 4,000 life insurance agents in the Philippines. Like, who knew that would happen? Like, that's cool, right? But if I'm local, I'm gonna do something that's attention getting. I'm gonna run a Facebook ad to my local market, even if it's just $5 a day, just to get attention. Who cares? You want them to see your name. I want people to see me daily. I want people to see me multiple times a day. So I would start with Facebook. I would do something attention getting. Most people are afraid to spend money. I will cut the check, right? I just bought like $37,000 worth of extra stuff when I was at 10X. Why? Because because for me to want to do $1 million in 30 days, 10 grand can't seem like a lot of money. 100 grand can't seem like a lot of money, right? Like most people that's a limiting belief for a lot of people, to where they're worried about spending the money because they're worried about getting it back. Like I spent $500,000 on the first 8% conference and only brought in 300 grand. I lost $200,000 3.5 years ago, my first event. Why did I do that? Well, I did that because I knew it would pay off long-term. Like if you believe in yourself enough, you will find the money to go all in.
Is there anything, I know you mentioned a couple nuggets about what we can expect for the upcoming 8% Nation conference. Is there anything that we can put out there that producers can look forward to in regards to attending the conference in July?
Yes. So I'm going to do a separate, okay, this will be separate, but this is something I would pay attention to if I'm them. I'm doing a separate 1-day private Q&A mastermind the day after the event on the Monday, July 26th at the same venue, by the way, but it's going to be small. We're talking like a dozen people around a table with some speakers, maybe more than a dozen, but you get the idea. Very small.
Okay.
Go from 1,200 to 12, right? Like that's the concept.
VIP.
Correct. So we're doing that because people have a lot of questions. You know, we're doing a bunch of events, public speaking workshops, business expansion workshops, YouTube mastery, all these other events. And so what changed the game for me was getting in close proximity to people that were doing something huge that I wanted to learn from. Okay. So if your audience is out there and it's like, okay, I want to do something huge. Okay, great. I want to get in close proximity to people that are doing something massive in the industry. Okay, great. Then this event is going to be for you because you're going to get, you think any questions you have, the ability to get them answered around a round table is pretty freaking special.
I really like the idea of that specialty treatment. And also it's almost like the small classroom feel of having a lot of attention, being able to learn one-on-one and ask questions.
Yes.
So that's super cool that you're doing that. And who knows, maybe cyber insurance could be a topic at the upcoming conference. We'll have to talk about that later and see if you think that could fit into the curriculum. But Cody, thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to staying connected. Look forward to doing something in the future. If you're ever out in San Francisco, you're going to have to let me know.
Please.
Is there any final thoughts you want to leave our audience with?
Dude, it's you only live once. You only get 2021 one time ever. Okay. Wake up and do something special this year. If I can help, I'm here. We have 2,000 videos on YouTube for free. I put out stuff on Instagram every day for free. Like I am committed to helping every insurance agent in the world. I want to be known and I want to leave a legacy on this industry. For that dude has helped me more than anyone else without having to try to recruit me than anyone else on the planet Earth, period, ever. Boom. Okay. So if I can be that person for your people, I would be happy to.
Cody Askins, thank you, my man. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, bro. Love the podcast, man. Love what you're doing. Okay. Keep rolling. Hey, keep following Pat Costello, man. This is awesome. Love it.
Thanks, Cody. We'll talk soon.